The rain lashed against the window pane like shards of glass, each drop echoing the turmoil inside her heart. Maya sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the suitcase lying open before her. It wasn't packed yet, but the decision was made. She was leaving. For 34 years, Maya had lived in the same coastal town, surrounded by familiar faces and routines. But familiarity had become a cage. Her marriage, once a sanctuary, had turned into a battlefield. Words that once carried love now dripped with venom. Promises had shattered like fragile shells underfoot. The storm outside mirrored the one within. She had endured years of emotional abuse, convincing herself that things would change, that love would return. But the final blow came 2 nights ago when her husband sneered, "You're nothing without me." Those words carved deep into her soul, igniting a fire she didn't know she still possessed. Maya stood, her legs trembling but her resolve firm. She zipped the suitcase shut. It was time to reclaim her life. The first step out of the door felt like stepping into a void. The world beyond seemed vast and merciless. She had no job lined up, no savings worth mentioning, and no family nearby. All she had was a small flat she'd managed to rent with borrowed money and a heart full of fear. The days that followed were brutal. The flat was cold and bare, the silence deafening. Nights were the hardest, loneliness crept in like a thief, whispering doubts into her ears. What if he was right? What if I am nothing without him? But every morning, Maya forced herself to rise. She scoured job boards, sent applications, and endured rejection after rejection. Each, "We regret to inform you." Email felt like another storm cloud gathering overhead. Yet, she pressed on. One evening, after yet another fruitless day, Maya wandered to the shoreline. The sea roared under the crimson sunset, waves crashing with relentless force. She stood there, letting the wind whip through her hair, and whispered to herself, "If the ocean can rise after every storm, so can I." Weeks turned into months. Maya finally landed a job as a receptionist at a local community center. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a start. The center buzzed with life, children laughing, elderly folks sharing stories, volunteers bustling about. For the first time in years, Maya felt a flicker of belonging. One day, while sorting paperwork, she overheard a conversation about a support group for survivors of domestic abuse. Her heart pounded. She had never spoken about her pain to anyone. Shame had kept her silent, but something inside urged her to attend. The first meeting was terrifying. Sitting in a circle of strangers, Maya felt exposed. But as others shared their stories, tales of heartbreak, resilience, and triumph, she realized she wasn't alone. When her turn came, her voice trembled, but she spoke. And with every word, the weight on her chest lightened. That night, Maya walked home under a starlit sky, feeling a strength she hadn't felt in years. She was no longer just surviving, she was beginning to heal. Healing wasn't linear. There were days when memories clawed at her, when self-doubt returned like an unwelcome guest. But Maya had found her tribe, a circle of women who understood her pain and celebrated her victories. Together, they became each other's anchors in turbulent waters. Encouraged by the group, Maya enrolled in evening classes for counseling. She wanted to help others navigate storms like hers. Balancing work and study was exhausting, but every lecture fueled her purpose. She was transforming her scars into stepping stones. 2 years later, Maya stood on a stage at the community center, delivering a speech at an awareness event. Her voice was steady, her eyes bright. "We are not defined by the storms we endure," she said, "but by the courage with which we rise after them." The audience erupted in applause, but Maya's gaze drifted to the back of the hall where a young woman sat, tears streaming down her face. Maya walked over, embraced her, and whispered, "You're not alone." In that moment, Maya knew her journey had come full circle. Years later, Maya became a certified counselor and founded an organization dedicated to supporting survivors of abuse. Her name became synonymous with hope in her town. She had turned her pain into power, her wounds into wisdom. Looking back, Maya realized the storm hadn't destroyed her, it had shaped her. It taught her that strength isn't the absence of fear, but the will to move forward despite it. Courage isn't loud. Sometimes it's the quiet decision to leave, to start over, to believe in yourself when no one else does. And resilience? It's the art of rising, again and again, no matter how many times life knocks you down. As Maya stood by the sea one evening, watching the waves dance under the golden sun, she smiled. The ocean was still wild, still unpredictable, just like life. But she had learned to sail through storms. She had conquered hers. And now, she was helping others conquer theirs. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, comment, and switch on your notifications. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories.